Hello, my name is Samantha Marksberry with the Living in SC team here at Real Broker. On today's video, I'm going to be discussing the top 5 mistakes that people make before they move to South Carolina, and specifically, I'm going to focus on Myrtle Beach. But before we get into it, if you have already thought about making the move to our state, shoot us an email at info@livinginsc.com or send us a text at the number below. Please stick around for all 5, as my number 1 reason is probably the biggest one that I see happen the most. Without further ado, let's get into it. So, at number 5, I'm going to be discussing the weather. The weather is a hot topic in our state, as yes, we are a beach community and it does get warm, very warm. In fact, we are very humid here in Myrtle Beach, so temperatures that are in the 90s will feel like they're in the 120s. Don't you worry though, we have 60 miles of beachfront access that you are welcome to use, or most of our communities that are being built here in our area do offer some sort of community pool. And that's not to say that some houses you are still allowed to put in your own personal pool. However, the biggest thing I think people underestimate about our area is that we still do experience a winter. Winters in our area are still pretty cold. So I wouldn't get rid of your winter coats just yet. And I honestly would keep all my summer and winter clothing accessible in my closet, as our temperatures can vary just in a 24-hour period. Let's take today, for example. I walked outside and it was 45 degrees, but it felt like 20 because the wind speed was 32 miles per hour. So that cuts through any sort of clothing that I could possibly put on. Also, something else I might add about our weather in the winter is the humidity is all year round. So the moisture in the air is still going to be there even when our temperatures are cold. So you could definitely still expect our roads to freeze over and or ice on your car. So I would not throw away any of your winter gear that you have for your car or for your person when you move to South Carolina. Counting down to my 4th biggest mistake I see people make when moving to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, is underestimating their commute times. So being a high tourism area, we do see tourism all year long. That is going to add to your commute time. In Horry County, the Grand Strand, we have 12 cities that make up our county. In these 12 cities, we only have 2 major highways, Highway 22 that runs east to west, and Highway 31 that runs north to south. These highways do not span all of Horry County. So, you will experience commute times that involve a lot of traffic lights and incoming travelers that don't necessarily know where they're going. You just have to have a little bit of patience getting to your destination. So with that being said, if being close to your job or your kids' school or your favorite bar or restaurant or just being around things to do in our area is important to you, I would suggest doing your research on commute times before making an offer on a home. At my number 3, I'm going to say taxes. So in South Carolina, we do have our taxes set up a little bit differently than a lot of states. For a primary resident, your tax rate is going to be defaulted to a 6% rate. However, the biggest mistake I see people make is they do not go back and correct their effective date for their tax rate, which is going to decrease your tax percentage to 4%. Now I know 2% does not seem like it's a big deal, but for some properties, it could be the difference of double or triple the payment. That is definitely something that you are going to want to take care of if you purchase your home in the beginning or the middle of the year, because we pay our taxes in the rears. So you will get that tax notice around the end of October to go ahead and make that payment before January of the following year. Now, if you are purchasing an investment or a secondary home that you don't quite want to move to yet, and that you'll own for a couple years before you move down here, you will be taxed at that 6% rate until that becomes your primary residence. Coming in at my number 2 would definitely be purchasing a property sight unseen. So this is more common than you would think. It happens actually quite often, especially with out-of-town buyers. And some of these people have never visited Myrtle Beach before in their life, which is shocking to me because we see about 19 million visitors a year. However, purchasing a property sight unseen sometimes goes great. Other times, it could be the best house you've ever seen. You love everything about it, done to the nines, but you don't like the area or the community that it's in. The best part about buying something you've seen with your eyes is that you know what community you want to be in, what lifestyle you want to live, where your best friends are, how close to the beach you want to be, or if you want farmland and you want a house with acreage, we have that as well. There is something for everyone in Myrtle Beach, but my professional suggestion would be to book the flight and come down and see for yourself what all the Myrtle Beach area has to offer. Coming in at the very first mistake I feel people make before moving to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina would be underestimating the insurance cost. So in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach specifically, they're only about a dozen or so feet above sea level. And in most areas, this requires the need for flood insurance. You're already going to need it if you purchase a condo or anything that is in a complex with a lot of neighbors. You will need flood insurance, but oftentimes the HOA will cover the building insurance. With a single family home, you will need to ask your real estate agent if there is a requirement for flood insurance on a specific property in Myrtle Beach. You are going to need your building insurance, your exterior insurance for sure, because we do get hurricanes every single year. Some are a little bit more mild than others, but our hurricanes do pose a threat to the roofs, the windows, the siding, and everything like that. So insurance premiums are going to be higher in our area, as well as your auto insurance. Our auto insurance is higher not because of the weather, but because of the tourism. Because we see so many people visit our area every year. And let's face it, oftentimes when you go to a new area, you don't really know where you're going, so your driving is a little less than perfect. So that being said, accidents happen more frequently. So the need for insurance and the insurance cost is definitely something you want to keep in the back of your mind when you are purchasing a home. The added cost could make or break whether or not you purchase a specific property. Thank you for listening to my top 5 mistakes people make before they move to the Myrtle Beach, South Carolina area. Once again, I am Samantha Marksberry with the Living in SC team at Real Broker. If you are looking to purchase a home in this area, please email us at info@livinginsc.com or text us at the number below. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel and check out some of our other videos. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time on Living in South Carolina.